Well, first of all, let's start with a discussion about the results we're expecting this week. We know that Nigerian breweries and Nestle are having board meetings today to consider their full year result for 2011. What are your broad expectations for those numbers?
Well, looking at Nigerian brewery especially going forward, you think there's going to be a very good result from Nigerian brewery. But when you look at the share price, we wonder what type of dividend they are going to pay, because if a share is selling to as high as 97 naira and its dividend payout is not going to be, I don't think Nigerian brewery dividend payout should be up to 5 naira earnings per share. So I see when that result comes, we determine the price of that equity. And knowing fully well, if you watch for the past 1 month, that's a share price that started the year at a very low level and has come as high as 97. And maybe again, you could see that there is a brewery war between Nigerian brewery and Guinness. So because of the price of Guinness going up, automatically some people think the best place to take position is Nigerian brewery. But I don't think the result will be that so fantastic that will raise the price above where it is. It's actually, if I look at it critically, I think if the result comes out and it's not able to pay up to 5 naira or 4 naira, I see the price coming down.
Okay, so obviously dividends are key in this season. What about for Nestle? Nestle, obviously the highest price stock, well over 400 naira. Very strong performance over the last few years. But we do know that last year we did see some weakness in their results, in their interim numbers. What are you expecting from the fourth quarter? And do you think overall we're going to see a very strong performance from Nestle?
Well, Nestle, if you look at it, is an investment. It's stock they call the older people stock, the retiree stocks and stuff like that. So the people that are in tune and in love with Nestle are still there. Mostly those people that have bought this Nestle for a very long time, and most of them are not ready to relinquish it for any price, even if it goes to as high as 500, 600. So that's bottom line. That's what has been helping Nestle in terms of demand and supply on Nestle has been very, very low. Most investors buy Nestle to enjoy the dividend payout. And if a stock is selling that high and paying a dividend up to 12 naira, for somebody that have retired and some of these guys bought this stock at a very low price. So that's what is really helping Nestle. But when you look at the price in terms, the earnings that comes out and the dividend they pay out, sometimes you wonder why it's that high. But it's just because it's an income stock. Right? That's why I think when the result comes out, yes, it's a result for a long time. So when the result comes out, I still believe that Nestle will not go that very bad, might even go up a little, because people want to buy it to get some of these income earners want to have more of it to keep for the long time. Right. So when you look at it, I think the price might not go too forward, but might not go too backward. And
Unilever Nigeria, we're not sure when exactly they're going to put out the numbers, but another stock that we're expecting numbers from.
I am not too positive about Unilever Nigeria. If I take in consideration their third quarter report was not really very fantastic. So when you're looking at that and you look at they have a competitor in terms of Cadbury, which even Cadbury share price at the moment is very low. So sometimes people will just look at it, looking at Unilever and Cadbury, and you know that the same thing that happened to Unilever some years ago is the same thing that's happening to Cadbury when they have problem in their share price and in the company, and the train went down like that. So most investors will be, most decent investors will think, look, instead of holding on to Unilever, why not I take a position in Cadbury for a long time in terms of capital appreciation, because you don't expect Unilever to pay so much high dividend at the moment. I think the highest they can go, maybe they give the last time they gave about 90 something kobo. I think they can go above 1 naira, even if they will get to 1 naira. I don't think so.
I noted earlier that the banks did very well last week. We saw the likes of Access Bank and Sky Bank do well over 15%, and that's in the context of this profit warning which we saw from UBA, and it seems like the market seems to be brushing that off. We saw even UBA's share price was beginning to recover towards the end of last week. What are your thoughts on the banking sector results that we should expect in March?
Well, the result is already playing out. It's already playing out already. You could see stuff like Access going up, stuff like GTB do marginal gain here and there. First Bank also, for the first time for a very long time, First Bank has crossed the 10 naira threshold and it's almost hitting the 11 naira. So when you look at those stocks, you know that there's something hidden there, because if you look at their first and the second and their third quarter results, it has been good. And when you, like you just rightly pointed out, you see the profit projection for a stock like UBA. For me now, UBA is the cheapest stock in Nigeria at the price it's selling. It's one of the most cheapest stocks in Nigeria.
So we should really brush up
to a very in terms of capital appreciation. not in terms of dividend payout, because like they have already told us that their fourth quarter they are going to declare a lot of losses, and then their first quarter they are going to make profit about 15 billion. So when you look at such stock going forward, you realize that it's a stock to hold, but for the medium and the long term. So I think for the banking sector, we all expect them to do well. Assets, people are really getting into assets because of the synergy between assets and Intercontinental. And remember, the Assets Bank also projected that they will be making about 56 billion in terms of profit after tax by the time they are synergy with Intercontinental. So most people are really taking position for the short time and for the long term. So the banking sector's stock will still be the toast of investors for a very long time, mostly this year. I think that's where investors are really going to make a lot of.
Right, let's move away from the market for a second and go to some macro news. We do know that inflation numbers should be out. January inflation out later this morning. Generally, the expectation is that there's going to be possibly very significant uptick because of the increase in the fuel prices, and even the Central Bank and Monetary Policy Committee has already alluded to that. What impact do you think this is going to have on our markets? With high inflation, you tend to expect that the bond prices should come down, we'll see yields rise, and obviously that's very negative for equities.
Definitely. I gave a scenario to a friend. I went to the supermarket and I bought something, and when I was going out, I told the supermarket attendants what I just bought is 10,000 naira, and I was just carrying it in one nylon bag. So you could see that's how far inflation has really eaten into. Definitely the inflation will be high.
And even that will impact consumer stocks, because
yes, consumer demand. But sometimes, the way it play out in the Nigerian market is always the other way around when you think, because these stocks sometimes have a shock level. I know fully well that some of these stocks are actually sold to their lowest ever level. So they are in a gradual, but it's all about recovery. Recovery in the sense that the market is trying to recover from whatever it has lost for a very long time. And when you look at the bond and the other market, they have been gaining all this while. So I don't think it will be too much.
Yeah. Wait and see. Thank you so much, Muktar Mohammed, analyst at Assar Investments, giving us his thoughts on the Nigerian market.